And welcome inside the Robert J. Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey for another edition of Brookdale Basketball here on BTV. I'm Tim Catalfamo alongside my broadcast partner Brian Goudsward. It's a battle within the Region 19 Conference tonight as the Brookdale Jersey Blues men's basketball team square off against the Middlesex County Colts. And Brian, Middlesex is second right now within the Region 19 Conference standings. Brookdale is right behind them. This is a battle that comes down to finishing inside the top four and getting home court advantage in the Region 19 tournament.
Yeah, you said it. That's exactly it for this Brookdale team right now, sitting in that number 5 spot, and they badly want that bye so that they know coming into this region tournament they'll be playing right here at the Collins Arena in front of their home fans where they play so well.
Brookdale was able to handle Middlesex County earlier this year. They won by 91-86 in that game. But, Brian, this is a much different team from what we saw early on in the season, and Middlesex certainly is ready for a fight. They are ready to take it to Brookdale tonight.
Yeah, and what stands out about this Middlesex team, the roster is so deep. They have so many different guys they can go to, and also the size is something that Brookdale is going to have to contend with. A lot of players 6'5" and over. They're going to be in for a tough test, but this Brookdale team is playing their best basketball of the season.
Brookdale certainly has played very well. They come in here on a hot streak, winning 8 games in a row as you look at the starting 5 now for the Middlesex County Colts. Middlesex comes in here 19-4 overall, 18-4 in the Region 19 Conference. Brookdale on the other side, I mentioned a moment ago, come in here on an upswing, 17-7 overall, 14-6 in the Region 19 Conference standings. And we talked about the conference standings, but we also talked about how competitive both of these two teams usually are when they play each other. We're used to seeing Middlesex be good on the women's side, but on the men's side, Brian, in particular, they always have their act together with a brand new head coach this year.
Yeah, brand new head coach David Turco in his first season, and he's really turned the tide for this Blue Colt team, having a big season in his first year, record of 19-4. But as you mentioned, one of the 4 losses for them this season coming earlier against Brookdale.
I mentioned Brookdale earlier this season took down Middlesex on the road. It was a big win then, and Brookdale is looking for a big win tonight. As Brookdale is continuing to be introduced, you see the starting 5 there. Jameer Calhoun, the senior leader, will have to have a good night if the Jersey Blues are going to get their 9th straight victory. Talked about how first-year head coach David Turco on the Middlesex County side, Paul Chizak in his 27th season, talked to him pre-game, told me that the team has just got to rebound tonight. They have to attack the rim, which is his strategy, but they're going to have to rebound and limit the opportunities that Middlesex has when they have the ball. The Colts in the teal colors, whereas Brookdale is in the white. Our officials this evening, Tyler Trilling, Mike Evans, and David Coogan. It'll be Jameer Calhoun squaring off at midcourt against Elmer Riviera. Brookdale trying to figure out how they want to line up to start this game. We're glad you're along for the ride here on BTV. This should be a hotly contested match as the opening tap is won by Middlesex County, and taking it to the rim immediately, Deontay Crawford. He comes up empty, and Teray Gatling secures the rebound. Brookdale very quickly attacking here on this possession. Sutton with the left-hand layup, and Brookdale leads early 2-0.
Yeah, and I think you can look for a lot of this on both sides, pushing the ball up and down the floor, even on made baskets. It's a Brookdale specialty, but Middlesex is going to be doing a lot of the same.
Brookdale opens up in a man-to-man defense. Here's Darius Valencia with the basketball. Now back out to Elmer Riviera. Crawford takes a 3. It's a little too strong, and Calhoun comes down with the rebound. Tyler Hawkins now gives it off to Teray Gatling. Back to Hawkins in the corner. Rebound is fought for, back to Middlesex underneath the basket. So a fast start early on for both teams. Middlesex comes off of an incredible win against Rowan College at Gloucester County just a few days ago. They won with a buzzer-beating shot as time was expiring from Latrell West. Here's Valencia, the jumper, a little too strong. Weak side rebound is put back up and in by Crawford, and we're tied at 2.
Yeah, mentioning the size for Middlesex, and that's one thing Brookdale has to be mindful of, not allowing too many offensive rebounds. That time Middlesex able to take advantage.
Bounce pass to Sutton. Sutton on the attack, lost it, and now he'll back it out to Jordan Smith at the top of the key. Hawkins, feed inside to Gatling, and one for Teray Gatling. Gatling comes off of a triple-double against Rockland Community College. Brookdale won that game on Saturday, 92-63. He had 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. And Gatling at the foul line completes the three-point play. The foul was charged to Deontay Crawford. That's his first.
Yeah, just a great all-around game for Gatling and Brookdale against an inferior Rockland team, and a game that Brookdale handled fairly easily.
There's Riviera. A little bit off the mark is Rivera, and Smith corrals the rebound. Gatling along the baseline, lays it in again with a hard dribble, and Brookdale now pulls ahead 7-2.
It was just a great cut to the basket by Gatling and the vision by Calhoun to deliver the pass perfectly.
West with a fadeaway two. It doesn't drop, and Gatling another rebound. In transition to Calhoun at the rim. Not able to finish. Tapped out to Gatling. Into the corner for Sutton. The three is an air ball, and it's scooped up weak side by Cameron St. Teal. Long jumper there from the corner by Valencia. Rolls off the rim. Hawkins the rebound. Brookdale looking to push here. Smith right in front of the Middlesex bench. As Brookdale will try to set up their offense, leading by 5. Calhoun, a jumper, is good.
Now, I've just been so impressed by Calhoun's season. You talk about him being one of the sophomore leaders, and just start to finish, the consistency is what stands out for him.
Here's West. Rivera, the long two is good. And a whistle and a timeout is taken by Coach David Turco. I believe it's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here on BTV. As Middlesex desperately needed that bucket, Brian. They were starting to see Brookdale get out and run and pull away in this game, but Coach Turco is going to try to draw something up, maybe a change-up on defense, because Brookdale's had a lot of good looks at the rim early on. Yeah,
and both teams moving the ball at a high pace. I mean, this is going to be a back-and-forth kind of game, one that Brookdale likes to play. They're at their best when they're getting out in transition, and early on today, through the first 3.5 minutes, that's exactly been the game plan. It's working out.
Looks like possibly a full-court press being dealt by Middlesex out of that timeout. See how Brookdale is able to handle this. Neither team has made a substitution so far in this game. Gatling, a tough shot. Isn't even close. Sutton the rebound, hoists up a three. This one's off the front rim.
And Sutton's first 2 attempts have been well off the mark.
Santil inside, a nice adjustment, and he lays it in. Now here's Smith in transition. A tough shot with some contact, falls for Jordan Smith.
And that's what we talk about often, is pushing it up the floor like Brookdale did just there after a made basket. So often they can catch the defense by surprise.
Crawford. Rivera, the fadeaway. This one doesn't drop. Gatling another rebound. He lost it, but it'll stay here with Brookdale. So we take a look at this last shot there on the other end of the floor for Brookdale. Here's Calhoun in the paint. Another tough shot for Jameer Calhoun, drops. And now Brookdale leads by 7.
He's off to another good start. 4 points in the early going. 1 a jumper, 1 closer to the basket.
And we have our first foul of the game on the Jersey Blues, as West was on his way to the bucket. Coach Chizak not happy about the call. It's on Randy Sutton. That's his first personal. Valencia to inbound. Gets it into West, and Sutton picks up his second personal. So 2 quick fouls for Randy Sutton, and he'll be subbed out of the game. In for him will be Emilio Stevenson.
And Paul Chizek letting out an audible groan after that foul on Sutton. As he mentioned, he finds a spot on the bench.
And for Sutton, those are 2 big fouls. The 6'2 freshman from Harlem, New Jersey, usually averages 11 points a game. Now Stevenson is in for him. West saves it from going out of bounds. Here's Crawford inside, the tough shot. Gatling the rebound. Calhoun. Now over to Smith. Some contact down low between Crawford and Gatling. No call. Smith on his pivot foot. Doesn't get it to drop. And now here come the Colts in transition. Valencia blocked away by Hawkins. And now here comes Hawkins. 1-on-3 to the hole. Blocking foul is called on West. Count the bucket for Tyler Hawkins.
That's just a great example of defense turning into offense, and Hawkins puts on the finishing touches at the other end, a chance to make it a 3-point play.
It's the first personal on West, the second on Middlesex, and Tyler Hawkins, now the 6'2 freshman from Tinton Falls, completes the 3-point play. Hawkins only shoots 46% from the line, but he was able to make it count, and Brookdale now leads by 10. Middlesex needs a bucket here. West, the 2. Rims out. Another rebound for Teray Gatling. Smith, the ball fake, and the jumper now. Back iron, no good. Rivera, the rebound. Tried to push it up to Crawford, and Crawford wasn't ready for it. Another turnover there for Middlesex as the Colts have just struggled to come out of the gate.
Yeah, and that time just moving a little bit too fast. It was kind of an indecision whether they wanted to take it to the rim or back it out and reset the offense, and it turns into a turnover.
Alkeem Raines getting ready to check in for Middlesex. Gatling, I think they were going to count that.
It went in anyway.
As Raines will check in for Middlesex. Or will he? He'll go back to the bench. I don't think he was ready to go in. They're asking him to take off of his warm-up jersey underneath before he can come in. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Middlesex will get him in at the next opportune moment. West inside is fouled.
And West, a guy who's one of the Blue Colts' leading scorers. I mean, he's one of those guys who's tough to defend, can shoot it. That time he takes it to the rim and first free throw attempts.
Foul is on Jameer Calhoun. That's his first. Latrell West rattles in the first attempt from the line as Raines now will come in for Valencia. Talked about how West had that buzzer-beating 3 a few weeks ago for Middlesex to take down Rowan College. West makes them both from the foul line. Some much-needed points as Middlesex, though, still down by 10. Raines guarding Hawkins. Long 2. Rebound Raines. Dangerous pass was nearly stolen away by Smith, but he was on the baseline. Coach Chizak arguing the call. Santil was the intended target. 19 to shoot for Middlesex. West with 8 to shoot. Middlesex has to hurry. Here as the shot clock's winding down. West, a nice floater. Falls.
And just a beautiful move to get around the defender that time, and then the nice soft floater as he's in the paint.
Smith Takes it to the rim. He's fouled. It'll be on the floor. I believe they will not count that bucket. Everybody, including our PA announcer Dave Tompkins, thought that was going to be a follow-through bucket, but instead it's on the floor. It's on St. Teal. That's his first.
Just a little too ambitious that time from Dave.
Darius Valencia checks back in. 20 to shoot for Brookdale. Hawkins will inbound. Hawkins, the pull-up jumper is an air ball. Rebound Valencia. See Coach Turco, first-year head coach for Middlesex on the sidelines. Comes over from St. Joe's of Metuchen, high school basketball, very successful high school basketball coach for over 20 years. Rivera banks it in off the glass.
Nice little pick and pop action that time from the Blue Colts, and Rivera showing off the jumper as he banks it home.
And now it's a 6-point lead for the Jersey Blues. Middlesex on a little bit of a run. Smith now back to Hawkins. Tyler Hawkins spinning around. The jumper is tapped around and controlled by Crawford. .15 to shoot here for the Colts. Raines directing traffic. Goes at Smith. Now back out Valencia. It's a 2 if it goes, and it does fall for Darius Valencia, and it's a 4-point game as Coach Chizak is very irate on the sidelines as his team has seen a double-digit advantage go away in the last couple of minutes. It'll be a full timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 11-14 remaining in the first. Back to the Collins Arena after this. .14 left here in the first half. Tim Kettlefemo alongside Brian Goudsworth, the rest of our BTV crew on Pink Zone night here in the Collins Arena in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Jersey Blues have a 4-point lead. They're trying to have that lead grow. It was at 1.10, and out of that timeout, Coach Chizak was extremely upset on the sidelines. They're not able to convert. Rivera with an opportunity here to cut it to 2. He can't do it, and the rebound to Hawkins. Hawkins, nobody picking him up. He goes coast to coast, and he's fouled.
That's just a quick move by Hawkins, making up his mind from back in the backcourt that he wanted to take it to the rim, and good determination there as he draws the foul.
Foul is on Latrell West. That's his second personal, the 4th on Middlesex. So 2 big fouls on one of Middlesex's better players. And Tyler Hawkins, who I mentioned earlier, only shoots 46% from the foul line. Makes the first one. He's made both of his attempts from the line this evening. He had 23 points against Atlantic Cape, which was a career high for Tyler Hawkins. And he makes them both. Brookdale goes back up by 6. Middlesex started out the game with a lot of energy, but the last several minutes they've looked a little lethargic. However, they have been able to slowly chip into the Brookdale lead. West left all alone inside, and he banks it home for 2.
Yeah, nice dish that time from out on the perimeter. Just a good passing play by the Blue Colts, and they find the basket.
Stevenson in the corner. It was partially tipped by Rivera. Gatling able to save it from going out of bounds. Calhoun, a tough shot, is good. He went right at Crawford along the baseline, and he's able to get it to drop.
And that was a tough angle there, coming from the baseline and feeling the contact, but he still is able to get it to go off to another good start.
22-16, Brookdale pulls ahead again by 6. Crawford was bumped by Gatling about 20 feet away from the bucket. As Stephon Forbes will check into the game for the first time, he'll come in for Emilio Stevenson. It's the first on Gatling and now the 4th on Brookdale. Crawford thought about a 3. Now he gets it back out to Raines. Crawford, the jumper. Front rim no good. Raines touched it last out of bounds, and they go back to Brookdale.
And you mentioned Forbes checking into the game. When he's in, he is a major shooting threat. Every time he has the ball in his hands, he's looking to shoot, usually off dribble penetration. And one of those guys who, when he's on, he can score in bunches.
Well, Forbes is one of those players that likes that corner 3. We'll see if they give it to him. He's open. Shot clock now down to 10 for Brookdale. Calhoun, the jumper is good from the right elbow. Seems like every time down the floor, it's the same shot for Jameer Calhoun.
Yeah, it's just tough to stop. You see how high he gets as he takes that jump shot. It's just tough to defend at his size, has such a soft touch.
Averages 15 points a game as Crawford, a uncontested 3, doesn't fall. Gatling in transition will lay it in at the other end.
And West that time choosing not to provide too much resistance as he just laid off and let Gatling get the easy 2.
West is on the floor with 2 personal fouls. He's got the ball now. The runner in the paint is good. Cuts the Brookdale lead to 8.
Now he makes his presence felt on the offensive end, a guy who can score in a variety of ways.
Hawkins guarded tightly by Raines. Shot clock winding down. It's down to 12. Some contact inside between Crawford and Calhoun. No call. Now it's taken away by West, or is it? Forbes is able to scoop it up. It's still being knocked around. It'll stay here with Brookdale with 2 to shoot.
And they're going to have to inbound from back here, so it will have to be a hoist of a shot.
Crawford goes to the bench. Santil comes in for him for Middlesex. Forbes will have to chuck it up from half court. It's an air ball.
Yeah, you would think in that situation that, as you see Paul Chizek there looking on, that you would inbound it closer to the front court and allow a more conventional three-point attempt. And you're shooting pretty much from half court. It's a very low percentage play.
Under 8 minutes to play. Here in the first half, Middlesex down by 8. It goes through the legs of Valencia. Now the feed up to Forbes, and Forbes with the left hand, an unconventional layup, and it doesn't fall. Now here's Middlesex in transition. Santil is fouled on his way to the bucket.
And I think Paul Chizek just very frustrated that Stephon Forbes was unable to finish on the other end. Really, no one back defensively. Should have, as you say, tried an unconventional finish that time, and it backfired.
So Cameron Santil at the foul line, the 6'4" sophomore from Piscataway, New Jersey. As Jameer Calhoun, by the way, picked up the last personal foul. That's his second. He checks out of the game for Teray Merritt, who comes in for the first time tonight.
You got your Terays mixed up. It's different spelling.
Merritt is on the floor along with Smith, Gatling, Hawkins, and Forbes. As Santil makes them both from the foul line. It's a 6-point game. Forbes kicks it out. Smith, corner shot for Smith is good.
And that was a good attempt there at a closeout from Santil, but it was just too late. Smith, it's not really his forte shooting from long range, but that one perfect.
Tipped away. Hawkins comes up with it. Now up ahead to Forbes again. And again this time Forbes with the left hand, but this time he gets it to fall. And it's an 11-point lead for Brookdale.
Yeah, Forbes going with the reverse. Nicely done that time as he gets the roll.
Middlesex needs a bucket. And there's 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Raines threw it right to Smith. And now here's Hawkins right at the rim. Tyler Hawkins lays it in, and a timeout taken by Coach Turco.
That's just a great feel there by Hawkins. The defender, Neeskins, was trailing. He just waited for him to go by, and then no one was there for Hawkins as he laid it in.
It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here on BTV with basically 6.5 minutes to play here in the first half. You see Coach Turco in his first season talking to his team on the sidelines. I mentioned he has a very successful high school basketball coaching career. He's coached at 3 different programs, Carteret, South Brunswick, and St. Joe's and Metuchen. And those teams combined won 8 GMC Greater Middlesex Conference Championships, a Central Jersey Group 2 state championship. And he has coached 2 different players that are currently in the NBA, Karl Anthony Towns of the Minnesota Timberwolves and Wade Baldwin IV, who just got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday.
How about that? That's quite a resume.
Valencia in the corner. It's good. Much needed for Middlesex out of that timeout. It's a 10-point game. Now Valencia comes up on the defensive end and takes away the pass. Valencia, the 2 in transition, is short. West is fouled inside, and he'll go to the line. Foul is on Hawkins. That's his first personal, as Coach Chizak talks to his freshman point guard on the sidelines. Latrell West will shoot 2. Completes the first. Mentioned how West had that buzzer beater against Rowan College at Gloucester County. He also had 38 points earlier this season against Atlantic Cape. Robbie Anderson's team that was just in here a few weeks ago. 33-25. Forbes, the 3. This one off the front rim, no good. Abdullah Neeskins has also checked into the game for Middlesex. He's got the ball now. West from the corner. It's good. Latrell West is heating up from behind the arc. The lead has been cut to 5, and Coach Chizak will take a full timeout with 5:43 remaining here in the first. You're watching BTV.
Every journey we take in this life starts with a single step. My journey at Brookdale started with that step.
Back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena, Tuesday Night Hoops is brought to you by Joyce's Subs and Pizza. You can go online at joycessubsandpizza.com for either takeout or delivery. Brookdale leads 33-28. So we're under 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Smith, a dangerous crossover inside. They will not count the bucket. It will be on the floor. Coach Chizak upset. Instead, it's on Middlesex. We'll check the number. It's the 5th on the team, and it's the 1st on Neeskins, as you see Coach Chisak on the sidelines pleading his case.
Yeah, I think they should have gotten the benefit of the continuation that time, but now Brookdale will have to get reset.
Forbes, left arc 3 is good.
It worked out anyway. They got a 3 out of it.
36-28. Brookdale back in front by 8 points. West, who just comes off of hitting that 3, tried to feed it to Rivera. Now it's Santil from the corner. Back iron, no good. Trey Merritt in the corner. Now back to Smith as Middlesex appears to be in a zone defense here. West takes it away after a sloppy pass. West to the rim. He's fouled.
I think that was pretty good transition defense by Smith there, challenging on the fast break there West, but they rule enough contact for a foul.
Looked like West was going to try to throw it down with one hand. Instead, he was fouled by Jordan Smith, his first personal. It's now the 7th on Brookdale as West makes the first attempt from the line. Cameron Santil will come out of the game for Deontay Crawford, who checks back in. Latrell West, the 6'3" freshman from New Brunswick, needs to have a big night tonight. Brings his Colts to within 6. Gatling nearly lost it. Now hands off to Merritt. Shot clock is at 13. Gatling in transition, wrapping it around, just did everything but score, and Rivera comes up with the rebound. Middlesex in transition, up ahead to Crawford. Crawford, the cherry picker, doesn't go, and Tyler Hawkins is fouled in the backcourt. Watch again as Hawkins almost goes into the front row. Foul is on West, Brian. That's his 3rd personal foul, so Latrell West is going to have to take some time on the bench because that's the 3rd straight foul.
Yeah, and that would be big if he gets further into foul trouble. A guy who's the leading scorer, and he's done a lot in the first half here tonight.
So West is on the bench as Gatling couldn't handle that pass. It's Valencia, Neeskins, Rivera, Santil, and Crawford on the floor for Middlesex. Middlesex 3rd in the Region 19 conference standings at 19-4 overall. They need a win on the road to stay within the top 4. They don't want to fall out. Valencia nowhere to go along the baseline. Hawkins, a beautiful play, saved it to the wrong man, and Crawford this time will finish. It's a 2-possession game. Gatling to the hole, and he's fouled. Check to see if this is on Crawford or Rivera. It's the 6th team foul. Make it the 7th team foul on Middlesex County.
Yeah,
and
the foul's really piling up for both sides, and as you mentioned, West with 3, but Brookdale has to watch the foul trouble on their end as well.
Called the foul on Rivera as Gatling could not hit the first attempt from the line. The 6'5" sophomore from Patterson mentioned he had a triple-double against Rockland County.
And he needed a game like that because the last several games, including games here at home, he's just been a little bit off. Hasn't had his best shooting games lately, so he needed one of those to kind of get back on track, and that triple-double can certainly do that.
Gatling, though, can't make either one from the foul line, and now an opportunity here for Middlesex. Neeskins. Oh, Valencia may have gotten away with a walk, no call. Valencia, the right arc 3 is short. Rivera, though, grabs the rebound and Middlesex resets. Neeskins, good defense here for Brookdale on this possession. Shot clock down to 10. Neeskins, Rivera, the jumper, rolls off the rim, no good, and the rebound is controlled by Smith. Brookdale has some numbers here in transition. Teray Merritt to the hole. He couldn't get the layup to drop. Stay here with Brookdale as Valencia touched it last. Still a 4-point game, though. Middlesex hanging around. We knew this would be tight. As the officials have a brief discussion. They're going to reset the shot clock, so Brookdale will have a fresh 30. Again, Tyler Trilling, Mike Evans, and Dave Coogan on the floor for tonight's game. Gatling has not made a three all year. This time he drives it inside, a little too strong. And now here comes Santil the other way, goes over Hawkins, a blocking foul on Tyler Hawkins. It was in transition. Let's take a look at that. Actually, that last bucket that time for Middlesex, but the foul is on Tyler Hawkins. That, I believe, is his second.
And Hawkins trying to draw the charge there. Walt Chizek, who has been very fired up from the outset of this game, another call that he disagrees with.
Santil completes the first attempt from the line.
Certain games that he just brings the extra gusto.
Well, it is Pink Zone night, so maybe a little extra pep in his step. It's a 2-point game. Middlesex has done their job. They've made their foul shots tonight. In fact, they are a tremendously good foul shooting team. They shoot 76% from the charity stripe. So if you're Brookdale, you don't want to put them on the line. Hawkins, the spin move. Santil, the rebound, but he was on the baseline. So a tough break. As there is Coach Chizak, 27th year as head coach. Has told me that the key to Brookdale winning is when they attack the rim. Merritt attacked the rim that time, but didn't score. Forbes, a three, got it.
Forbes has really provided a nice spark here with a couple of threes since he was inserted in the game, and that's just what he has the ability to do.
Averages 6 points a game. He's right at that threshold tonight. As we approach a minute left here in the first half. Rivera thought about posting up against Hawkins. Neeskins' miscommunication leads to a turnover there for Middlesex. Now with under a minute left to play, Brookdale will try to add to their lead. Remember, at one point, Brookdale led by double digits. The largest lead they had was 11. Middlesex, though, has done a nice job of keeping it close. As the Colts spread out their defense on this possession. Hawkins, jumper, fouled. And Tyler Hawkins will take another trip to the foul line where he's been perfect tonight. It's the 8th team foul on Middlesex, and it's the second on Rivera.
Now, one advantage that Hawkins has as a point guard is he's bigger than most point guards, which allows him to do some different things offensively. He can post up, he can shoot, and when he drives, he's just harder to stop because of that size advantage.
Hawkins going with the neon green colored shoes tonight. Very eye-catching, an unusual looking shoe. And as I mentioned, he's been perfect from the foul line.
It looks like all of the blue Colts wear the same style shoes.
Interesting color combination there for the Colts. 41-34. shot clock, I believe, should be turned off as it's almost identical to the game clock. And I think Middlesex will just take it easy and hold for the final shot, even though they can't necessarily because it's like a 0.5 of a second difference. It's down to 5. Santil will have to put it up. He does. This rolls off the rim. Nearly a goaltending call on Gatling, and that will end the first half. Coach Turco on the sidelines arguing that Gatling interfered with that. The officials have a slight discussion, but I don't believe they're going to change the call. It'll remain 34 for Middlesex as Brookdale leads by 7, 41-34 at halftime. So, Brookdale did a very nice job. We talked about how these are some of the top teams in the Region 19 Conference and how this would be a major fight tonight between both of these two teams that are trying to remain inside the top 4 in the Region 19 standings in preparation for the Region 19 tournament. Middlesex is in. They are 3rd. Brookdale's on the outside looking in 5th. And the reason why that matters, Brian, is because the top 4 teams get home court advantage, and that's something that Brookdale certainly wants, and they've done a good job on offense making sure that they spread the ball around.
Yeah, and this is a game, like we said, we expected highly competitive basketball, and that's what we've gotten. I mean, Middlesex isn't 19-4 for nothing. They have one of the best records. They're ahead of Brookdale in the standings, but the Jersey Blues outplaying them here on their home floor like they so often do. I think one issue that Brookdale ran into, though, Jameer Calhoun got off to a great start, set the tone early, but then after those 2 personal fouls, spent the last 8 or so minutes on the bench. So Brookdale needs to get him back going, keep him out of foul trouble, and try to close this one out.
Remember, Middlesex comes off of taking down the #1 team in the Region 19 Conference in Rowan College of Gloucester County just a few nights ago. They're in a hole. They're down by 7. They need a second-half rally to take down Brookdale tonight. We'll take a break on BT. And we're back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena at a halftime, getting ready to start the second half. Tim Kettlefam alongside Brian Gouds with the rest of our BTV crew. Brookdale leads by 7. They're looking to hold on to this win. If they could get the win tonight, it would be a big win for them. But, Brian, they certainly have a long way to go. Middlesex is not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, we've seen a highly competitive game so far. We talked about Jameer Calhoun at the end of the first half, the things he was able to do on the floor, but also look for more Stephon Forbes. He's gotten going, and once he starts feeling a rhythm, he can be dangerous.
Second half just about to start. Let's head down now for the action. Brookdale going right to left tonight to start the second half. After the team switch sides, Sutton, Hawkins, Gatling as Sutton knocks down the 3 to start the second half along with Calhoun and Smith. So a nice, strong way to start the second half, and now Brookdale finds themselves leading 44-34. Last time Brookdale led by double digits, it was the early portions of the first half. Middlesex needs a bucket here on this possession. Feet and tied to Santil was tipped out of bounds. It's Santil, Crawford, Rivera, Valencia, and now make it West as Neeskins had started the second half on the floor. West comes in after picking up those 3 personal fouls in the first half. Shot clock down the 4 here for Middlesex. Crawford with 2. Middlesex doesn't realize it. Valencia at the horn. It is a shot clock violation on the Colts.
I'm not even sure that Valencia actually got that shot away before the shot clock ran out. Doesn't matter anyway.
Brookdale looking to add to their lead here. Sutton. Back out to Smith. Right at Santil. Smith draws contact and he's fouled. Nice ball fake by Smith to get Santil in the air. And now Jordan will take his first trip to the foul line in the second half.
And Smith loves that spin move on his drives to the basket. A lot of times you see him try to get the defender in the air. That time, though, he just spins around and now finds himself at the line.
Smith will complete the first attempt. The 6'2 sophomore from Hazlet, New Jersey. Had 22 points, a career high against Dutchess County. That was on the road a few weeks ago. As Smith completes them both from the foul line, it's a 46-34 lead. Mentioned it a moment ago, Middlesex desperately needs a bucket here in this second half. Rivera, miscommunication, lost the ball. Sutton in transition, lays it in with the right hand. Largest lead of the night for Brookdale.
A great move by Sutton there in transition, kind of crossed over, dribble, and then took it all the way.
Santil inside to West. West has it rejected from Smith. It'll stay here, though, with the Colts with 13 to shoot.
It's a good job by Smith there, getting all ball, swatting it out of bounds, and forcing an inbound.
Santil goes to the bench, and for him is Raines. Valencia, long inbound is intercepted by Smith. Up ahead to Sutton, who's all alone, and he will just calmly lay it in as Coach Turco takes a timeout. Middlesex has come out flat to start the second half, and Brookdale has put up 9 unanswered points to lead 50-34. We'll take another break. 18:06 remaining here in the second half in the Collins Arena.
Hi, I'm Anna Canzero. I'm from Howell, New Jersey. I went to Howell High School. I'm a forward here at Brookdale. I chose Brookdale for a number of reasons. One being it's very convenient for me because I live pretty close. It's a pretty good price, and they have a really great basketball program.
Hi guys, I'm Deion Griffith. I'm from Howell, New Jersey, and I'm a forward on the team. I chose Brookdale because it has a great basketball program. Also, the school is amazing. It has great facilities. My major is biology, and just all the classes help to transfer over, and it's just a great school.
Hi, my name is Jessica Popolowski. I'm from Toms River, New Jersey. I went to Donovan Catholic High School. I am the center of Brookdale women's basketball. I came to Brookdale this year for the basketball program, and also because I am a criminal justice major and a science major. Our goal for this year is to win a ring.
I'm Rachel Rouse. I'm from Neptune, New Jersey. I went to Academy Charter High School. I'm a guard at Brookdale, and I came to Brookdale because it was convenient.
Over 18,000 students annually, flexible schedules, commitment to student success. Welcome to...
Back here on BTV, 18 minutes left here in the ballgame. Brookdale leads 50-34 out of that timeout. Middlesex desperately needs some points. They have gone scoreless to start the second half, as Brookdale has just opened it up. Here's West, double teamed in the corner. Valencia, the 2. It's short. It's tapped out to West, though, and the shot clock resets here for Middlesex. Valencia in the corner. Jameer Calhoun is now back on the floor. He was on the bench for the majority of the first half as Crawford inside breaks that long scoreless drought the Middlesex had been on.
Yeah, and they badly needed a timeout to just kind of regather and formulate a different strategy offensively. Here they get a steal.
West, nice anticipation, one-on-one with Sutton, and he makes a beautiful move to go around Randy Sutton. And now a mini 4-0 run for Middlesex as Sutton inbounded the ball on the baseline. An unforced error there, and the Colts now all of a sudden with a little bit of momentum.
It's funny what a timeout can do sometimes. The momentum in basketball can just change in the blink of an eye.
Well, we'll see if Middlesex is able to capitalize on the mistake by Sutton a moment ago. Valencia, right wing 3. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound to Hawkins. Sutton over to Gatling, nice hesitation, and inside, Teray Gatling is able to finish. It's now 52-38. See if the Colts can try to answer here. They have struggled in the second half to get good looks at the bucket. West can't get that 3 to fall from the right arc, and Smith scoops up the rebound. Sutton blows by the defense and is able to score the basket.
That was just a beautiful move by Sutton, who a lot of times settles for the outside jumper, but that time just a great dribble move, gets around the defense and all the way to the basket.
Here's Rivera with a hand in his face. Rebound Crawford. Crawford at Calhoun, and he's fouled. Coach Chizak not happy at all with the call inside the paint. It'll go against the Jersey Blues. It's on Sutton, actually. I thought it was on Jameer Calhoun. It's the third on Randy Sutton.
Yeah, a lot of times that's kind of a tricky call because they don't get the foul on the shot blocker. Instead, it occurs with another defender at the side. That was that time Crawford.
Deontay Crawford at the foul line makes the first attempt. The 6'6" freshman from South River has 24 blocks coming into tonight's game and had a career-high 27 against Ocean a few weeks ago. It's a 14-point game. Full court press here for Middlesex. It turns into a turnover as Raines will lay it in after stealing it away from Sutton. And Coach Chizak will burn a timeout as he is upset on the sidelines with how Middlesex has now started to show a little bit of life the last couple of minutes. It's a 30-second timeout. Talked about the upcoming schedule for the Jersey Blues. They have Camden County College coming in here next Tuesday. And then they have Passaic on February 16th. That'll be a tough game, Brian, because even though Camden is kind of a moderate team within the Region 19 conference standings, Passaic is a team that gave Brookdale some trouble earlier this year.
Yeah, and it's one of the teams that's holding one of the spots there in the top 4 in the region standings. So another game like tonight where they try to make some hay against two teams that are taking up 2 of the top 4 spots. And Brookdale badly wants to get there and only have a couple of games left to try to do it.
For Middlesex, they have at Lehigh Carbon. Will be on the road on February 7th. They're home against Sussex on the 12th. Then they have Atlantic Cape. That'll be at Atlantic Cape as they square off against Robbie Anderson's squad, who was just here a few weeks ago, before they get ready to close out the month of February with a home game against Northampton. So Middlesex has a tough couple of games coming up, some of them on the road, and that game against Northampton sure will be interesting. Out of the timeout, Brookdale's on the floor with Hawkins, who tried to feed it inside to Calhoun, and a foul is called. Goes against Middlesex. I'm not sure who the foul is on. They call it on Raines. That's his first personal. Coach Turco a little bit confused. It's kicked out of bounds by Rivera with 20 on the shot clock. Hawkins gets it into Sutton. Smith at the top of the key. He drives inside. Now he thinks better of it. Nice defense there by Middlesex. 2-3 zone here for the Colts. Smith, left arc 3. Too strong. Rebound Raines. Rivera, turnaround shot, front rim no good. Offensive rebound by West, counted and one for Latrell West.
And then West, such a versatile player with his size and 6'3", collects the offensive rebound into some traffic down there, and now a chance for 3.
It's the third personal foul on Jameer Calhoun, the second on the team, as West completes it from the foul line. Now 54-45. Brookdale has their lead cut down to single digits at 9. Calhoun, long 2, doesn't fall. Again, Raines the rebound. Now in transition, West attacks the rim to the hole. He puts it in right over Jordan Smith. And now Middlesex using a little bit of momentum here to get back into this game. They trail by 7.
And that momentum has come since Brookdale took the last time out. They just have not been able to execute the last couple of minutes.
2-3 zone again here for Middlesex. Bounce pass inside to Gatling. Gatling nearly went up and down. Coach Turco can't believe it. Shot clock down to 7 here for Brookdale. Sutton, it's taken away by Rivera, or is it? It's saved out of bounds, and Raines scoops it up. Now Hawkins in the backcourt after a terrible pass is fouled at midcourt. Sloppy basketball for 15 seconds, and Brookdale catches a break, as I think Raines is going to pick up a foul here.
Yeah, neither team could really pick up the basketball. It was rolling around very chaotically, and then Brookdale finally able to settle it down, now try to get a clean possession here offensively.
They actually instead call the foul on Darius Valencia. That's his first. Gatling left all alone as Rivera didn't come over, and Gatling is able to lay it in the paint. It's back up to a 9-point lead. Crawford, cross-court pass to Valencia. Brookdale remains in a 2-3 zone here, giving Middlesex some trouble. Crawford, the nice jumper, is all bottom.
Yeah, and they did well to defeat the zone defense that time. Rivera found the open shooter, and Middlesex converts a basket.
Ray Merritt is now checked into the game. He's got the basketball. Shot clock once again winding down here for Brookdale. It's at 5. Hawkins, nowhere to go. Now Smith with one, forces it up there at the buzzer, and that's a shot clock violation for the Jersey Blues.
Just not a good possession. The ball stayed on the perimeter all the way through. No one could make a move toward the basket, and Smith forced to just tee it up at the last second.
Middlesex trying to make a run back into the game. West, nice feed downstairs to Crawford, and Crawford puts it in. And now all of a sudden it's the Colts that have come roaring back into the game. They trailed at one point by double digits, another turnover. Here comes Middlesex in transition. West the three, this one doesn't go. Now up ahead, Gatling threw it up there. He didn't have his feet set, and Valencia comes up with it.
Yeah, Gatling tried a neat move there, tried to pick it up and finish all in one motion, but couldn't do it.
Middlesex once again will try to cut the Brookdale lead down to one possession here if they can get a bucket. Raines kicks it out Valencia. The three is good. Darius Valencia cuts the lead to 2, and a timeout is taken by Middlesex as they have come roaring back into the ball game. And Coach Turco has got to be pleased with his players' effort the last several minutes as you take a look at this last bucket by Valencia. Coach Turco, I mentioned his success on the high school basketball end of things, over 20 years coaching experience. Told me before the game that he feels Brookdale is the best team in the Region 19 Conference. He felt that at the beginning of the year. He still feels that way, Brian. And from what we've seen, this has been a back-and-forth game. But Brookdale, every time that they get a lead, they can't seem to hold it, and Middlesex comes roaring back.
Convenience of 6 physical campuses throughout Monmouth County. Freehold, Hazlitt, Long Branch, Neptune, Lincroft, and Wall.
Back here on Tuesday Night Hoops here in the Collins Arena. Our coverage tonight is brought to you by Joyce's Subs and Pizza. Talked about as we were going to break, Brian, how Brookdale has had a lead, but they have failed to retain it. They, at one point, led by double digits, but it seems like every time they get a lead, Middlesex comes roaring back into the game.
Yeah, and just when it looked like Brookdale was opening up a big lead in the opening minutes of the second half, ever since Brookdale had taken that previous timeout, Middlesex has gained all the momentum. They're making shots inside and out, and they are right in this game in the final 11 minutes and change.
Raines picks up the personal foul. That's his second, and the fourth now on Middlesex. Sutton, dangerously close to the baseline, had to double check himself. Shot clock again winding down. It's down to 5. Sutton with 3. A prayer at the buzzer is an air ball, and Gatling couldn't handle the rebound. Another shot clock violation for the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, this has just not been pretty basketball offensively, not what we're accustomed to seeing from this Brookdale team, especially during this good stretch, having won 8 in a row, and during that time looking more like the team of last year.
Collins Arena has been very quiet the last several minutes. Middlesex can take the lead with a 3 on this possession. Rains, the drive, the nice kickoff to Crawford, and count the bucket for Deontay Crawford. He'll go to the line for 1. And we are tied up at 56. Who could have said that a few minutes ago? The foul is on Gatling, that's his second. Now Deontay Crawford for the lead. He's got it. Middlesex.
I believe this is the first time Middlesex has led all game.
Brookdale needs a bucket on this possession. Sutton goes around the horn to Smith. Smith bobbled it, lost it. Tip-up doesn't go. Rebound is fought for. Calhoun comes up with it. Calhoun again. Underneath the bucket, a tough shot is good.
It's just a beautiful slip pass there from Gatling, finding Calhoun underneath the basket. He's able to gather in and score.
10 minutes to go here in the second half. Brookdale regains the lead by 1. Rains. Now to Valencia. Rivera, the jumper is good over Jameer Calhoun.
Where the Blue Colts have just really started to feel good about themselves on the offensive end. They're playing with confidence. They're making a high percentage of their shots, and now they have themselves the lead again.
Sutton. Calhoun is good in the paint. Another jumper. Jameer Calhoun's had a quiet night. After spending the majority of this first half on the bench, he comes up big and gives Brookdale the lead back.
And from right around that area of the floor, he is just deadly with that jump shot. Makes a high percentage of them, has such a smooth release.
Nice bounce pass in transition to West, and he's fouled. Count the bucket again for Latrell West. It's on Randy Sutton, and that's his 4th. And now a double technical is being called against Brookdale. And Middlesex will check this. Not sure what this is all about. Coach Chizak is not happy. I don't blame him for being upset. Not only do they give up the bucket and the foul, but now possibly a technical foul looming.
Yeah, it looked like it was Calhoun on the Brookdale side with Rivera on the Middlesex side. They started to get into it a little bit. No fisticuffs, but a technical foul was assessed, and now there's a meeting there with the officials and Coach Chizak.
Coach Chizak is continuing to plead his case, and now he gets a technical foul charged to him. This game is quickly unraveling for Brookdale, and Jersey Blues have got to get it together before the entire game spirals out of control. So we wait for an explanation. This will be the first technical foul shot, I believe, for Latrell West. As Calhoun did indeed pick up a technical foul. That's now his 4th. So not only is Jameer Calhoun in foul trouble, but now Randy Sutton as well. Each with 4 fouls. West makes the first pair of technical foul shots from the line. All right, so Paul Chizak picks up a technical foul, as you heard over the PA. Elmer Rivera also picked up a technical foul for Brookdale. That cancels out the Jameer Calhoun technical foul, and West completes the 3-point play from the line all told, it's a 4-point lead for Middlesex.
Yeah, and Brookdale has some issues right now because their lead is gone. They're kind of losing it a little bit temper-wise. Got to get back on track.
Calhoun, right elbow jumper is good.
And that's a good way to do it. Calhoun, who got the aforementioned technical foul, comes right back with a jumper.
It's a 2-point game. Battle of two heavyweights in the Region 19 Conference. West may have been bumped along the perimeter shooting that three, no call. And now here comes Hawkins in transition. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. Got pushed from behind there by Valencia. That'll be the second on Valencia. And now because this is the 16th foul, it's only the 16th foul, so not a 1-and-1. My apologies. I thought Middlesex had gotten their 7th. Smith now to Hawkins. Long two from the foul line. Rolls out, no good. Middlesex sensing some new life here in this second half. They trailed by 7 at halftime. They were down at one point by 14. Crawford. Shot clock down to 8, nearly taken away. Now the shot clock down to 5. West with 4, with 3. Foul line jumper, no, the feed inside to Crawford instead, and he finishes with 1 on the shot clock.
Just in the nick of time for the Blue Colts as the timer was winding down. It was down to 1 second, and they're able to get a basket from in close.
Calhoun, the jumper from the foul line. He has been automatic from that area, and it's once again a one-possession game.
And maybe playing with a little extra fire after that technical foul and getting into it with Rivera on the Middlesex side.
Well, remember, he's playing with 4 personal fouls. Rains, the dump off to Crawford, and Crawford puts it in.
One thing you notice with Middlesex, they are on point with their passes. The dribble penetration, they find the open shooters on the perimeter and also inside, well executed.
Calhoun again! Jameer Calhoun, maybe that fire intensity is starting to wake the Jersey Blues up. That's 3 consecutive buckets for Jameer Calhoun.
No, he cannot be stopped, and they got to keep feeding him while he's hot.
Crawford, nobody picked him up, and he easily lays it in.
That's just not good defense at all. Crawford went into the paint with no resistance whatsoever and gets the easiest basket of the game.
Back and forth we go. Calhoun again at the foul line. Guarded a little bit tighter this time by Crawford. Hawkins spinning around, and he's fouled in the paint. So there'll be 2 foul shots upcoming for Tyler Hawkins. And now Middlesex is in the bonus. It's on Deontay Crawford. That's his 2nd. So it sends Tyler Hawkins to the foul line. Again, he's had a great night. He historically doesn't shoot all that well from the foul line, but he's going to need to come up big. And this time he misses his first. Tell you what, who would have guessed that Brookdale, after having a 14-point lead early on in the second half, Brian, would have had this happen to them, as Hawkins can't hit either one from the foul line.
And Middlesex just has all the momentum right now.
Crawford, a nice hesitation. Calhoun couldn't do anything with him. He's got 4 fouls, and now it is a 6-point game as Middlesex is starting to pull away. Brookdale beat Middlesex earlier this year, 91-85. They don't want another loss in their column as they've won 8 straight. Want to try to sweep the series against the Colts, and Hawkins gets called for throwing the elbow, extending it. Coach Chuzak cannot believe it, and it goes the other way.
I don't know about that call. You see his reaction, and I just didn't think there was enough there of an arm extension from Hawkins to warrant an offensive foul.
It's the 3rd foul on Hawkins. West, the feed into Crawford. Now to Rains. Middlesex moving the ball around. Rivera. All money in the second half for Elmer Rivera. And Middlesex now is pulled out to an 8-point lead.
You know, that little scuffle between Rivera and Calhoun has really seemed to ignite both players.
Not a whole lot of movement for Brookdale in this possession. It was last touched by Middlesex. Brookdale catches a break, but they need a bucket. They desperately need to try to slow down this momentum that the Colts have been on. Hawkins gets it into Calhoun. Catch and shoot for Calhoun. Front rim no good. West in transition to Crawford. He lays it in. Coach Turco's team going on a run. They are not going away. And now it is a double-digit advantage, the largest of the night for Middlesex. Hawkins to Sutton. Tyler Hawkins to the rim. Count the bucket for Tyler Hawkins.
It seemed like the crowd didn't know whether they were going to count that or not. It was kind of anticlimactic. There should have been more excitement after that.
Well, after a couple buckets have been called on the floor and have not counted the carry-through, so to speak, I think the crowd was expecting that. That's at least what I was expecting. Valencia picks up the foul. That's his third. Hawkins, though, can't convert from the foul line. It's 3 straight misses for the freshman, and Brookdale trails by 8. West. Back out Crawford. Crawford to Rivera. Now back to Crawford. That should have been a foul probably on Smith. It didn't get called. Shot clock is at 2. West the prayer. It goes.
There's just nothing you can do about that. It was a great defensive possession, and West just throwing it up there at the last second gets it to fall.
Calhoun, not even close. The wheels have come off the wagon for Brookdale in the latter stages of the second half. And now Middlesex, with all types of time in the world, they lead by 11. It's deflected, it'll stay here with 11 to shoot.
We're not in this position very often at this point in the game, seeing Brookdale down by double digits.
Rivera right at Calhoun, a hand in his face, and he knocks it down. Middlesex shooting lights out here in the second half.
You just have to tip your cap. I mean, this has been a tremendous shooting performance by Middlesex. They're just making shots from all angles here in the second half.
Gatling underneath the bucket. Nearly lost it out of bounds. Smith with the drive. The jumper doesn't go. Hawkins, a critical rebound. He puts it in. It's an 11-point lead. Maybe too little too late. Smith picks up the foul. It's the second personal on Smith, and it'll send West, who's pretty much automatic from the foul line, 80% on the line this year for 2 shots. I'm sorry, it's a 1-and-1. It's only the 17th foul for the Jersey Blues. Doesn't matter. West makes the first attempt. Second attempt is good by West. 13-point deficit. Does Brookdale have it in them? We've seen them come from behind. Rivera, though, takes it away. And now Raines all alone. It's blocked away by Hawkins. Rivera now kicks it out to West. The 2 for Rivera. Too strong.
I thought that should have been a goaltend there. I think Brookdale caught a break.
Smith in transition, can't get the bucket to drop. Calhoun is fouled inside. And Raines is down at the other end for Middlesex. Not quite sure what happened to Alkeem Raines, but he is still on the floor. Foul is on Rivera, but Raines is doubled over on the opposite side of the floor. Pete Fusco, the athletic trainer here at Brookdale, taking a look at him. Not really sure what happened. I don't see him holding any particular area, unless he got hit in the stomach. Tyler Hawkins goes over to give him a pat on the back, but he'll go over to the Middlesex sidelines. Elmer Rivera picked up the personal. That was his 4th. As Jameer Calhoun is on the foul line. And these are some critical buckets that Brookdale is missing from the foul line. Hawkins has missed 3 straight. Jameer Calhoun usually shoots 75%, misses the first attempt. You just can't do that when you're down by this much. He missed them both.
Time is really running out on Brookdale.
Gatling causes a turnover. Brookdale needs a bucket in transition. Gatling to the hole, he lays it in. 11-point lead. Santil gets it in the West. Double teamed. West gets a timeout. So a lucky break for Middlesex that were tied up in the backcourt. Let's take a look at this. Nice shot there by West a couple of plays ago. 2:07 to play. We'll take a break here in the Collins Arena. Back after this.
7th campus, online. Amazing campus life. Brookdale will help you craft and share your story. Impressive sports programs. First-rate student services. Career services help you land your first job. One Brookdale. Academic excellence. Our commitment to demonstrate a consistent level of teaching and
back here in the Collins Arena, 2:07 to play out of the timeout. Middlesex has to inbound the ball. They have an 11-point lead. Valencia being guarded extremely tightly by Tyler Hawkins, and a foul is called on Hawkins. It's the 4th. And now the 18th foul on the Jersey Blues, as Darius Valencia talked about how good of a foul shooting team Middlesex is in the first half. They shoot as a team 76%. Valencia shoots 75%. The 1-and-1 nearly rolls off the rim, but it's able to drop.
And this is where being a good free throw shooting pays its dividends in games that you try to hold on late.
Missed the second one. Opportunity here for Brookdale. They have to go quickly, down by 12. And now Randy Sutton is fouled. About 15 feet away from the basket. And that will be the 10th foul on Middlesex. And now Brookdale has an opportunity with the clock stopped to go to the foul line. It's the 4th on Latrell West.
And expect there to be a lot of free throws and a lot of pressing.
Sutton. The woes at the foul line continue for Brookdale. They can't buy a free throw. Randy Sutton, 1 out of 2. It's an 11-point deficit. As you said, Brian, Brookdale will go to a full court press. Rivera up ahead to West, and West is fouled by Smith. So it'll send Latrell West to the foul line, and I think this is going to be the way these last 2 minutes are going to play out.
I was just going to say, if Brookdale is choosing to foul this early on in the shot clock, we're going to be here a while.
Well, they don't really have much of a choice. down by 11. But as I mentioned, Middlesex doesn't miss too many attempts from the line. Brookdale not a bad free throw shooting team as a whole, but they've had some critical misses in the second half as Latrell West hits the first attempt. He has 511 total points coming into tonight's game on the season, along with 61 assists. Makes them both. It's a 13-point advantage again for Middlesex. Smith on the attack. No call. Calhoun. Tip up is good by Smith. Now out of the inbounds pass, moving very quickly. Here comes Middlesex up the floor with Raines, who was injured a moment ago. And now Hawkins picks up a foul. It's the 5th on Tyler Hawkins as he is fouled out of the game. Not really much more you can say.
That's a big loss. Forbes is going to come in to replace him, and in Forbes you get a guy who can shoot the 3, and frankly they need a couple of those down by 11 points.
So Alkeem Raines at the foul line, misses his first attempt. Raines usually an 80% free throw shooter on the season. The 6-foot freshman from South Plainfield. 1 out of 2. 12-point game. Joe needs to hurry here. Sutton. Hands off to Smith. Now to Forbes. Gatling. Brookdale taking a lot of time here on this possession. Sutton kicks it into Gatling. Gatling is clearly fouled inside, and he will go to the line. But at the cost of a lot of time coming off of the clock. That was Crawford going up and over to Ray Gatling.
Crawford just flipped over Gatling to pick up his 3rd personal.
Both teams have maxed out with team fouls. Ray Gatling at the foul line. He missed it.
Yeah, and I think one of the first things that's going to be discussed after this one is in the books is we have to do better with fundamental things like make free throws. I mean, they have left so many points at the line, and down the stretch here, it's a big reason why they're down by 12.
Second attempt is good. 87-76. Brookdale trying to pull off a miracle as Crawford double teamed. Sutton gets the turnover and Gatling puts it in. Still a long way to go here though. West gets the inbounds pass and now is going to run up the floor. He's fouled from behind. A questionable call. I thought that may have been a clean steal, but instead it's called a foul. Coach Chuzak is irate on the sidelines.
Literally all 5 Brookdale players jumped in the air after that whistle.
It's on Calhoun and he is gone for the game.
Well, the task gets hard. It's hard enough when you're down by 9 with under a minute, but now you try to do it without Hawkins and Calhoun, 2 of your starting players.
Now Stevenson has no choice. He'll have to check in for Jameer Calhoun. Unbelievable. I thought that was a clean strip there as West was a little bit out of control coming down the floor. West missed the first attempt. Let's look at this again. Actually, this is the last transition bucket by Gatling. Middlesex leaving the door open just a crack. West missed them both. It's an opportunity here for Brookdale. They're down by 9. Sutton to the hole. Kicks it out Forbes. Extra pass to Smith. The 3 on the way. Rims out. No good. And now a foul here on Raines as he is bumped from behind. That basket was halfway down, and it just rolls out. Stevenson picks up the foul. That's his first.
And you almost get the sense that Brookdale's hopes are running out. They needed that to go down, make it a 6-point game, potentially try to get another steal. It stays at 9, and now a chance for Middlesex to tack on more.
Rains hits the first, and you talk about how that was an opportunity that was basically given to Brookdale. West, who's an incredible foul shooter, missed them both. The shot just did not go down the cylinder.
That turns into a 5-point swing.
Sutton just lost it. Rivera up to West. Nobody back on defense, and West, with an exclamation point, throws it down with one hand. And this game, I think, is now finally over. Middlesex is going to escape with a win after being down at 1 point by 14. Forbes, a desperation three. That doesn't fall. And this will sting for Brookdale. They will snap an 8-game win streak. Middlesex, on the other hand, will get their 20th win on the season, a major conference win tonight. They take down Brookdale 91-78. Some heckling going on at the referees as they were leaving the arena. But Brookdale really doesn't have too many people to blame other than themselves, Brian. I mean, they had a 14-point lead in the second half, and they lost the lead. I mean, really, there's not really much to say. They just did not make their shots. They allowed Middlesex multiple opportunities to get back in the game, and they hurt themselves from the foul line. They just could not buy a free throw.
It's a good way to put it. I mean, it looked like this game was in the bag for Brookdale. They came out in the second half. So many times we see they're not at their best in the first half, but they come out in the second half and blow the other team out of the water. It looked like we were going to be in for one of those kind of games, but then after one of the Brookdale timeouts, Middlesex just had all the momentum go their way. They started shooting the lights out. I mean, this was an unbelievable offensive performance by the Blue Colts. And then down the stretch, just not the lack of execution from Brookdale, the turnovers, and then you mentioned the missed free throws, which I think is the biggest thing down the stretch, whether it was Sutton, Calhoun, a number of guilty parties down the stretch that couldn't cut into the lead, and eventually they just fall short. A very disappointing loss.
It certainly was a very disappointing loss for Middlesex. They will remain inside the top 4 in the Region 19 conference standings, a major win on the road tonight. We talked about how they beat Rowan College at Gloucester County a few days ago. They take down Brookdale tonight, a team that Middlesex felt was the best team in the conference, and they take them down on the road tonight in the Collins Arena 91-78. Well, we'll be back next Tuesday as Brookdale still has a 2-game home stretch to close out the season. They'll square off against Camden County College, men's and women's games at 5 and 7 p.m. Brookdale will try to get this bad sting out of their mouth and turn things around to close out the season with 2 games at home. So that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. For our entire BTV crew, my broadcast partner Brian Goudsworth, I'm Tim Kettlefamo. Brookdale falls in embarrassing fashion, to be honest with you, 91-78 tonight against the Middlesex County Colts, who pick up a very important win, their 20th on the year, and Brookdale will be back on Tuesday. Have a good night, everybody.
Well, the semester's coming to an end, and students are either cramming for finals or stressing about what their next step is. But if you come across the Brookdale Bank Year Library, you'll find people who are willing to help you de-stress, relax, and clear your worried mind. Oh, and did I mention that these people were therapy dogs? Yeah, let's go check it out.
My name's Tyara, and I'm here to pet some dogs and be not stressed. Dogs just have this peaceful aura. Petting them just calms me instantly.
My name is Michelle Fields, and we're here with all the therapy dogs to help the students de-stress. Since she was 6 months old, she had a docile nature, and she loved people, and she especially loved kids, and she would let kids do anything to her. So we knew that she would be a great therapy dog.